All right, everyone. So we have this report and some comments from the author of the Hunter x Hunter manga, Yoshihiro Togashi, and it has to do with why it's taken so long for us to get any updates when it comes to the Hunter x Hunter manga. So if you don't remember, or if you don't follow Hunter x Hunter, let me just give you a brief summary of what happened. So when it comes to the Hunter x Hunter manga and its author Yoshihiro Togashi, all throughout its release, there have been certain times where Togashi will take breaks in between chapters. And it got to a point where Togashi would take these really long breaks or hiatuses between certain chapters. And it got to a point eventually where he would only release a few chapters a year. And just recently, when he released the very last chapter, I think that was chapter 390, if I remember correctly, that chapter was released 2 years ago. And for a long time, we've gotten no information, no update as to what's going on with the manga. And that has led a lot of people to theorize a few things. One being that maybe Togashi maybe he's just not interested anymore. Like maybe he just lost interest in the story and he's just not continuing it. And some people have theorized that maybe he is writing out the story, but he's just waiting to give people updates until it's 100% finished. And some people have probably updated that maybe he's just too busy playing, Dragon Quest or whatever. Personally, I've never thought that was true. I mean, I know he's a fan of Dragon Quest, but I don't think he would allow it to get in the way of him writing this story, because I do believe Togashi does care about Hunter x Hunter and he wants it to have an ending. And we'll get to his comments about Hunter x Hunter in a bit, what you're seeing right here in front of you. And for a long time we've just been waiting, and now we have an update. Or before we got this, we found out that Togashi opened a Twitter account and he's been posting pictures of his storyboards basically. And all of a sudden we started getting updates as to what's going on when it comes to Hunter x Hunter. At least now we know for a fact that he is indeed working on the story. But it turns out that there was actually more to the story than we thought. And hopefully, or what I'm hoping personally is going to come from this, is that there have been some people who have been a little frustrated, understandably frustrated, that we haven't gotten any updates on Hunter x Hunter and what's going on. But the thing where I think people took it a little bit too far is people saying that Togashi was just being lazy and that he only wants to write when he wants to write, and he just knows that, oh, people are going to read it no matter what. Even if I make them wait 5 years, they're still going to pick up and read the latest chapter, even if it's just one chapter. Now, I do think there's some truth to that, but the idea that Togashi's being lazy, I think, is where people took it too far. And here with this, I hope that people will finally stop using that as an excuse as to why we haven't gotten anything, because I've never believed that was true. It always sounded like BS to me. So let's look at these comments from Togashi and we'll get an explanation as to why not only does he sometimes take long hiatuses, but why just recently it's taken 2 years before we finally got something. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these comments. So he says, I'm sure you must be thinking, no, just continue the story. And I think this is in relation to this report where there's going to be a exhibition in Japan on October 28th when it comes to Hunter x Hunter. And I'm guessing probably not just Hunter x Hunter, but all of his works, like Yu Yu Hakusho, for example, which, by the way, if you haven't read, I do highly recommend you go read it. It's really good. Or just you can go watch the anime, although in my opinion it's not as good as the manga, but it's still pretty good. So he says right here, I have been unable to sit in a chair to draw for about 2 years. So remember when I said that it's been 2 years since we got an update? Well, apparently that's why, because he can barely sit in a chair and draw. And just in case you don't know, Togashi did injure his back, and because of that it severely affected his work, which I don't know if you know anything about, making artwork, especially drawing, but your back is kind of important. That's why you need to make sure you take care of it, and you don't do anything that could, have long-term effects on your health, especially when it comes to your back. And he says, but I have managed to resume writing by giving up the traditional way of doing things. Everyone, please take care of your hips. And we're about to get into a statement that is kind of embarrassing, but he's still sharing this with us because he wants people to know what's going on with him. Until 2 weeks ago, before I wrote this, I was unable to wipe my ass and I had to take a shower every time I took a shit. Think about this. Okay, think about this. His back is so effed up that the guy can't even wipe his ass when he takes a shit. Think about that. Think about how insane that is. And you also got to remember, Togashi's not a young man. Like, he's kind of up there in age, so his back especially is pretty important and he needs to take care of it. And even though I'm sure he wants to, you know, sit in a chair and draw, if it's affecting his back, that has to come first. I've always said this, as much as I want the story to continue, I want Togashi to take care of his health first and foremost. His health has to come before everything. Every movement takes 3 to 5 times longer than a learned person. Think about that. For us, something that we do pretty normally, it doesn't take us much effort. For him, it takes about 3 to 5 times longer just to do that. That's how bad his back is. Therefore, I strongly recommend that when you drop something at the exhibition, you should pick it up in a sitting posture. This was Yoshihiro Togashi, and he says, you know, pick it up like this, which I actually do agree with. If you're gonna lift something, lift it up with your legs, especially if it's something heavy. Make sure to lift with your legs, not your back. That's a good way to completely screw your back. It's terrible. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Yes, make sure to lift with your legs. And he basically says that this is basically how he's this is basically how he can draw, which is not the like he said, that's not the normal way or not the traditional way of doing things. So he had to find a completely new way to draw and write, or I guess just to draw. I think he can, you know, write pretty normal, at least I hope. But anyway, so there you go, guys. If you wanted an explanation for why it's been taking so long, or why we had to wait 2 years for something, this is why. And it also does explain why we've been getting a lot of updates recently, because he has been able to resume drawing, and I guess he knew that fans wanted to know something, like they wanted some kind of an update, and he is giving it to us. So there you go, guys. I hope you I hope you got something from this. And if you are online and if you see people being a little bit frustrated about, you know, Hunter x Hunter and like, where is it, what's going on, please share this with them. Not necessarily this video, but you can share this post. Again, you can find it on this account right here, Hunter x Hunter source right there, at Hunter x Hunter source right there. There's the handle. So you can just share this post with them, or just save the picture and you can just share with them, but just make sure to credit this person who shared it with us. Okay, just make sure to give credit, and hopefully they'll understand what's going on with Togashi, and hopefully they'll be a bit more patient. Not that I think Hunter x Hunter fans have a problem with being patient. We've been pretty patient for a long time, and again, hopefully they'll stop saying that, oh, Togashi's lazy or whatever, and understand that no, it really is because his back is just not the best right now, and there's a chance it might never will be. And right now he's just making the best out of the current situation that he's in. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Remember to leave a like if you want to support the channel. Share this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. Make sure to ring the bell for notifications, and I hope I'll see you guys for the next video. Bye for now.